Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw results from March the 12th week. Birthdays of March the 9th. Rick Steiner was born 1961. Tiger Ali Singh, 1971. Melina, she was born 1979, March 11th. Johnny Fairplay, March 12th. Mae Young, Little Guido. Nydia, she was born 1979. Little Guido was 1972. WWE Fastlane pay-per-view, the title match between the New Day and the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, ended in a no contest after the Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan, came to ringside and destroyed both teams. WWE noted after the show that Woods was suffering from a thoracic spine injury, contusions to the spine, and that he was being taken to a local hospital to be checked out. This is likely a storyline injury, but Woods was stretchered away from the ringside while the others were helped to the back by officials, and it can be found at this link for you. It appears Rowan and Harper are up for some sort of title match at WrestleMania 34, perhaps a triple threat with the New Day and the Usos for the Fatal 4-Way with another Blue Brand tag team. And here's an announcement on Woods with comments from a ringside doctor and shots from the carnage at Fastlane. Xaviar Woods suffered a thoracic spine injury during the Bludgeon Brothers attack at WWE Fastlane. Xaviar has suffered an injury to his thoracic spine due to the Bludgeon Brothers' brutal attack against the SmackDown Tag Team title match at WWE Fastlane. WWE.com can confirm. Our preliminary diagnosis is multiple thoracic contusions. Explained WWE medical personnel of Woods' injury. We're currently in the process of having him evaluated with x-rays and possibly an MRI for any further damage, such as ruptured disc or fractures of the thoracic spine. Woods' injury was sustained when Harper and Rowan leveled him with a double power bomb onto the steel steps. The most savage blow from an all-out bludgeoning on both the New Day and Usos, as WWE's medical crew quickly swarmed ringside and loaded him onto the stretcher. It is projected that there will be an update on Woods' status sometime in the next 24 hours. Check back with WWE for more details as they become available. John Cena stayed in the ring to give props to WWE Champion AJ Styles after Fastlane's pay-per-view went off the air. As seen in this video here, at the link, Cena had also stopped on the stage to applaud the WWE Champion. Styles retained his title in a six-pack challenge over Cena, Dolph Ziggler, Kevin Owens, Baron Corbin, and Sami Zayn, and will now go on to face Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania 34. Jeff Hardy was arrested for driving while impaired on Saturday night in Concord, North Carolina after an accident on Concord Parkway. The accident happened about 8:11 p.m. Hardy was arrested at 10:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and released later that night. Police report notes that Hardy totaled his 2016 Cadillac CTS-V with an estimated $8,000 in damages. Hardy was not traveling over the speed limit, but was going an estimated 50 miles per hour at the time of impact. The report also indicates Hardy underwent some sort of test for alcohol, but that results were pending at the time of arrest. Officer Clements wrote the following on the accident in the police report. Driver of vehicle number 1 ran off the roadway to the right, in turn striking about 105 foot of the guardrail before the back end of the car spun about 90 degrees to the left, coming to rest in the middle of the right northbound lane of travel. The driver was then arrested and charged with DWI. Police report lists an estimated $5,000 in damages to the 105 foot of guardrail owned by North Carolina Department of Transportation. Thus, there's a difference between the $8,000 damage, unless it says $3,000 for his car, which could factor in any restitution that the court orders Hardy to pay. As is standard in North Carolina following a DUI arrest, Hardy's license has been suspended. The first court date is scheduled for Monday, April 16th in Cabarrus County. In an update, WWE issued the following statement on the arrest on Monday morning. Jeff Hardy is responsible for his own personal actions. We are investigating the matter and awaiting information from local law enforcement officials. While Jeff has not commented on the arrest, it looks like brother Matt Hardy did reference the arrest in a late tweet on Sunday. As Matt tweeted, hashtag Woken Matt Hardy at Matt Hardy Brand. Ever since the 7 deities hashtag have come to me, I do not put alcohol, drugs, or foreign substances into my vessel. I am more. For those who missed it, below is Hardy's mugshot photo from the arrest. Show you that picture there. TMZ reports that Hardy blew a blood alcohol level of 0.25 on the breathalyzer test, which is 3 times the legal limit. TMZ also notes that the DWI charge is a misdemeanor. WWE issued the following statement. I already read that part for you. I think I did two reports, and both of them confirmed that last statement from WWE.com. Chris Jericho has reportedly been contacted by WWE to be part of the greatest Royal Rumble event in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia on Friday, April 27th, according to a report from PW Insider. The event will feature a 50-man Royal Rumble match with John Cena, Triple H, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, Braun Strowman already being announced for the bout. PW Insider noted that it's not known if the appearance would be one-off for Jericho or part of a bigger return. Jericho last wrestled at Wrestle Kingdom and Kingdom 12 in January, where he lost to Kenny Omega. The last appearance for New Japan Pro Wrestling was a day later at New Year Dash, or NJPW, could be New Jersey Pro Wrestling, where he attacked Tetsuya Naito. Towards the end of the show, it was believed that Jericho would be facing Naito at NJPW Strong Style Evolved on March 25th. However, that match has yet to be announced. Jericho was asked on Twitter last week if he was done with NJPW, to which he replied, unfortunately, yes. A lot of people took that tweet as Jericho working the internet, which he has done so many times in the past. Jericho's last wrestling-related appearance was on Raw 25th Anniversary Special on January 22nd. Jericho appeared in a backstage segment with Elias, where he played guitar and sang a song about not wanting to walk with Elias because he's a stupid idiot who just made the list. WWE announced on Raw that the first ever Fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal would take place at WrestleMania 34 as a way to honor the legacy of the WWE Hall of Famer, which can be found in this link, which later they had to change the name of the event. No word yet on the participants for the Battle Royal, but it was noted that female superstars from all brands will be able to compete. It's believed that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal will also take place this year, but WWE has not confirmed it. In my prediction pre-show, as normal, Intercontinental Champion The Miz took to Twitter today and will welcome the new WWE U.S. Champion Randy Orton to the Grand Slam Champion Club. As noted, Orton became the 10th Grand Slam champion under the current format with his win over Bobby Roode at Fastlane last night. Orton joins Big Show, Daniel Bryan, The Miz, Chris Jericho, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, Edge, Kurt Angle, and Eddie Guerrero in the group. Miz wrote, at Mike The Miz, congrats on becoming a Grand Slam champion. At Randy Orton, welcome to the club, and not the club, where you wear your super leather jackets and two sweet each other like it's the 90s. SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan missed last night's Fastlane pay-per-view because he and Brie Bella were attending his cousin Billy's wedding. Brie posted the photos from the event at this link on her Instagram account. Following her release from WWE NXT yesterday, Abby Lace issued the following statement on Twitter this afternoon. Abby Mae Young tournament match versus Jazzy Gabberth. This link for you. Also, Abby Lace, WWE, dear WWE NXT at WWE, thank you. Thank you for all the opportunities you gave me in the year. Thank you for everything I was taught, and I wouldn't trade the chapter of my life for anything. Now my path may be changing, but the crown jewel is still very much alive. She already has an indie wrestling appearance lined up next month for Beyond Wrestling in her hometown of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. At Beyond Wrestling, Beyond Wrestling returns to the at Wrestle Factory in Philadelphia for a doubleheader with at Chickapro on Saturday, April 28th, featuring Kimberly's homecoming, Abby Lace. She's a wrestler. That's a hashtag. Abby Lace comments back on Twitter. I'm back. And Twitter.com Beyond Wrestling status? Go to the link. Lace was one of the 3 NXT wrestlers released on Thursday. WWE confirmed to FOR DWI Online. Sage Beckett and Guaming Gu were the other 2. The Nasty Boys, Brian Knobbs and Jerry Sags wrestled matches in Germany over the weekend for Dutch Wrestling Alliance, DWA, and Independent Pro Wrestling Germany, IPW Germany. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Sags worked most of the matches since Knobbs was hurting bad. As has been expected, it looks like John Cena vs. Undertaker is finally happening at WrestleMania 34, which takes place on April 8th in New Orleans. Cena appeared on tonight's Raw in Detroit to officially challenge the dead man to the match. Cena said only one person is stopping the match from happening, and that is Taker. Cena went on to rip into Taker, calling himself centered and egomaniac. Heck, I thought he was talking about Hulk Hogan. Cena also said Taker isn't washed up and isn't broken down, because if he was, he wouldn't be posting workout clips to his wife's Instagram account. Cena stated that he will be going to WrestleMania this year as a fan or as Taker's opponent. Cena ended the promo by telling Taker that the ball is in his court, but he should get over his ego and have just one more match. No word yet on when Taker might return to WWE to answer the challenge, but the match is clearly happening. Taker made a brief throwaway appearance back at the Raw 25th anniversary show in January, but he has not wrestled since, losing to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 33 in 2017. Here are photos and videos from tonight's segment with Cena. Also, where he challenges Taker as well. Ronda Rousey is not currently backstage at Raw in Detroit. According to PW Insider, WWE announced last week that Rousey will be appearing each Monday night leading up to WrestleMania 34, where she will team with WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle to face Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. No word yet if she will appear tonight. Backstage news on Ronda Rousey secretly training at WWE Performance Center, her husband also to wrestle. David Otunga noted that he worked last night's WWE Fastlane kickoff pre-show with some sort of illness, either the flu or food poisoning. He posted a photo from a backstage shoot at the pay-per-view. My sick look for at hashtag Fastlane. Oh, I'm not talking about the outfit. I'm pretty sure I have food poisoning and or the flu. Good thing I didn't puke emoji on live TV. Hashtag true professional. Go to that link. Today's episode of Chasing Glory with Lillian Garcia featured an in-depth interview with Sonya Deville. In the interview, Deville opens up about her break on Tough Enough, what it was like to come out as gay on national TV, overcoming family struggles, and more. The episode is available now on podcast1.com, the podcast app and Apple Podcasts. They sent us the highlights. A potential match with Ronda Rousey. I haven't actually said anything publicly about it yet. I feel like the story me and Ronda can tell one day will be so awesome. I think we would have something special here. I think that it's going to be an honor and a privilege to work in the ring with her. That's the biggest compliment. Is that Ronda Rousey? She has done a lot in her life. She has accomplished a lot besides MMA and the UFC. She was a judo Olympian. She was a bronze medalist, and she went undefeated for so long. And she has a lot of accomplishments. So for her to want to be here so bad, to go through contract negotiations for as long as they did with her, and to finally be here, that is such a compliment to our division and what we're doing here. Being the first openly gay woman in WWE. I guess I put a big burden on myself because I want to send out the right message, and I want to talk about it properly. And I do not want to make sure that people, I do want to make sure people hear my story because I think that it's an interesting one that can help a lot of people. I get tweets and stuff. I tear up now just thinking about it. This little girl the other day was tweeting me. Her name's Courtney. And telling me that she came out to her family because she read my post and everything. I gave her the courage. That's the kind of influence I want to have. It's not just being gay. It's just being you. Darren Young talks about CM Punk and other top stars reaction when he came out. If Punk will return to WWE, equality. The more that is, it's a thing, the less that it's the norm. It's a need to be the norm, you know. It needs to be a part of what we do. And that's when we become equal. Now raise our standards, and that's what people are looking for. I don't think it needs to define me in the sense that I am just another competitor, but it's something about me that I feel like I can speak on and really help other people with. WWE has announced Kid Rock as a celebrity inductee into the 2018 Hall of Fame Classic. SmackDown superstar Mike Kanellis tweeted the following on the induction and says he wants to induct Kid Rock as he is his biggest fan. At Real Mike Bennett. And just like that, my WrestleMania 34 goals have changed. Dear at WWE, please let me induct Kid Rock. I'm not saying I'm the biggest Kid Rock fan, but what I'm saying is I'm the biggest Kid Rock fan. The woman who wrestled as Joan King on last night's Raw in Detroit for the squash loss to Nia Jax was local wrestler Shayla Hyde, who goes by the name of the Wicked Witch. Not from Oz, but the Wicked Witch. She tweeted the following after the loss. You can follow her at Likeable M.S. Hyde. Today's been so eventful, filled with amazing possibilities and amazing experience. Hashtag blessed. Hashtag Joan King. WWE take the following matches from Detroit this week for this main event episode. Goldust defeated Kurt Hawkins and Hideo Itami, and Akira Tozawa, who is now a new tag team, defeated TJP and Jack Gallagher. Raw opened up live from Detroit. Michael Cole welcomed us. He's joined by Corey Graves and Jonathan Coachman. We go right to the ring. Out comes Raw General Manager Kurt Angle as Joe does the introduction. Angle thanks the fans and says he couldn't be more excited and honored to team with Ronda Rousey to face Triple H and Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon at WrestleMania 34. Angle says he's most sorry for what Ronda will do to Stephanie, but he's not sorry for what he's going to do to Triple H. Angle brings up Roman Reigns versus Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. Next it says it will be a match for the ages. Angle says he was unfortunately just informed that Brock won't be here tonight. Angle says Brock wasn't feeling well, or he had transportation issues, or just didn't want to be on the show. Angle says we will still have a good show tonight and mentions Miz TV for later. Music interrupts Angle and out comes Roman Reigns to a mixed reaction. Reigns at the ring to what sounds like more cheers than usual, but the boos pick up as the music stops and he takes the mic. Reigns says he wishes he could say he's surprised, but he called this before. Reigns says Lesnar doesn't respect him, anyone in the company or anyone here in Detroit. Reigns goes on and says Lesnar didn't show up for work today or last week. He asks Angle what kind of repercussions there will be for Lesnar. Reigns answers for Angle and says there will be none because Lesnar is Vince McMahon's boy. Angle looks to grab Reigns' mic, but Reigns tells him not to. Reigns goes on about how most people would be fired if they didn't show up for work. Reigns says Angle isn't the problem. He's just a middleman, but the real problem is Vince. Reigns says he just walked past Vince in the back, and Vince didn't even have the respect to tell Reigns what was going on with Lesnar. Reigns says that the man busts his butt for each and every night. Reigns says it's one thing to be disrespected by Lesnar, but he will not be disrespected by Vince. Reigns drops the mic and marches to the back. Reigns enters the gorilla position backstage and asks Vince what's going on. If he's ignoring him, Shane McMahon is sitting there with Vince, as are other WWE officials working the show. Vince calls for a commercial and tells Reigns to walk away from everyone with him, and they will talk. We go to commercial. Back for the break, Renee Young is outside Vince's office. He's in there with Roman Reigns. Renee says things got pretty loud at first, but not completely out of hand, and things have quietened down. Reigns comes walking out of the room, but won't stop for an interview. Renee looks worried as she watches Reigns walk off. Vince walks out and says Brock is not his boy. He's not Paul Heyman's boy. He's not anyone's boy. Brock is a man, and he's his own man. Vince says he has no intentions of disrespecting Reigns, and he thinks he's a great competitor. Vince reminds Reigns of something his cousin The Rock used to say, know your role and shut your mouth. Vince says Brock does have certain privileges, and he will get to that in a minute. Vince says Lesnar doesn't like some people, and that's on him. Vince does not think Brock respects the WWE Universe, but he does respect competition and getting in the ring. Vince believes Lesnar has earned the special privileges that he has. Vince goes on and says sometimes people take advantage of what's given to them, and Brock may have gotten out of line, but Vince promises us Lesnar will be here next week and guarantees he will compete in the WrestleMania 34 main event with Reigns. Vince gives his word that Brock will be here next week. Regarding all the talk about disrespecting Vince, says because of what just happened with Reigns, Reigns has been temporarily suspended. First matchup, Sasha Banks versus Sonya Deville. We go to the ring, and Bayley is at ringside, looking somber. Absolution's Paige, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose are out. Sonya waits as Sasha makes her way out. Next, Bayley is out to support Banks despite the tension. The bell rings and Banks goes at it with Deville, and Paige yells at ringside. They trade offense and runs the ropes. Sasha nails a drop kick for a 2 count on Deville. Sasha dumps Sonya over the top rope to the floor as we go back to commercial. Back for the break, and Deville has Banks grounded with a submission hold. We see how Deville turned it around and during the commercial with a big knee to the gut. Banks tries to fight back now, but Deville plants her for another pin attempt. Deville works Banks over in the corner. Sasha tries to mount offense, but Deville shuts her down each time. Deville will thrust in the corner as the referee counts. Deville goes face first in the turnbuckle as Banks moves out of the way. Sasha with more offense in the corner. Banks goes to the second rope and nails the double knees for a 2 count. Mandy goes on the apron to distract Banks, but Bayley pulls her off for a pop. Banks takes advantage of the distraction, hits the backstabber on Deville, then rolls her into the back segment for the submission win. After the match, Banks celebrates as the music plays. She watches as Bayley hits to the back. Absolution circles back on the apron now. She attacks first, nailing Rose and Deville, but they get the best of her and double team her while Paige barks orders. Absolution stands tall over Banks as Paige music hits. Coleslaw leads us to the video package for 2018 Celebrity Hall of Fame inductee Kid Rock. Announces hype Asuka versus SmackDown's Women's Champion Charlotte Flair for WrestleMania 34. Which my prediction was Asuka to win. Still to come, Miz TV with Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. Back to the commercial, back for the break, and WWE Intercontinental Champion The Miz is in the ring for another episode of Miz TV. Miz welcomes us. You might as well call it Misery TV. Because every time you watch it, you go into misery. Miz welcomes us and says the Miztourage aren't here with them tonight. They're preparing for a special opportunity. Miz says that they've earned the shot at possibly getting a WrestleMania 34 match. Miz brags about elevating their careers. He goes on to introduce tonight's guests and says that they are the ones who will defeat. He will defeat a WrestleMania in the final hurdle in the quest to become the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. Miz introduces Seth Rollins first, and out he comes. Miz tells Rollins to have a seat because this is going to be fun. Miz introduces Finn Balor next, and he also comes out to a pop like Rollins. Miz talks about how he and Rollins could have burned it down at WrestleMania as the 2 top workhouses of the company. Miz says Balor is a great up-and-comer, but he doesn't have what he and Rollins have. Miz tries to poke Rollins and get him to think Balor is always in his way. Rollins says Miz must think they're idiots, but they're not. They know what the Miz is trying to do here. Miz says Balor might be king of the bingo halls. Miz says Balor's WWE record is lacking, bringing up the Universal title win. Miz says Balor has already proved he's better than Rollins, so why should he have to prove it again? Balor says Miz just tried the same trick with Rollins, so what makes him think it will work with Balor? Miz must try harder and prove to them that he wants to keep the title. Miz continues to try and cause issues between his opponents. Rollins tells him to shut up, and says that they're already fired up for the match. Rollins says he's going to take the title at WrestleMania, but the truth is that Balor doesn't stand a chance. With all due respect, Balor reminds Rollins what happened the last time they had a title match. Balor beat him with one arm. Rollins accused Balor of living in the past. Rollins says he's all about the future and will stomp Balor's head into the map to become champion in 4 weeks. Balor says they don't have to wait 4 weeks. They can do it tonight. Balor drops the mic and stands up for a fight as the fans pop. They kick the chairs over and face off in the middle of the ring. Miz watches them and is loving it. They turn their attention to Miz as the fans pop. Miz tries to escape, but they send him over the top to the floor. Balor turns around and Rollins drops him. Rollins talks some trash, points up the WrestleMania banner, and motions for the title around his waist. Rollins talks some more trash as he heads up the ramp as Miz looks on. So to come segment, John Cena will be here. Back to commercial. Back for the break. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor is made for later. The Bar versus the Mr. Raj was up next. We go to ring. Curtis Axel is out with Bo Dallas. Raw Tag Team Champions of the Bar was out next for the non-title match as Mr. Raj to earn WrestleMania 34 title shot. Cesaro and Sheamus hit the corner to pose, but Axel and Dallas attacked from behind and beat them down. The Bar regroups on the floor to come back in the ring and continue to brawl. No bell yet. The Revival were out next, and Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder joined in the fight. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson were out next. Heath Slater and Rhino, Titus Worldwide was also run down. Most teams getting going for the Bar. There's a tag team chaos all over the ring. Now Cesaro retreats through the crowd. Sheamus escapes up the ramp. The Bar is shocked as they recover while the other tag teams look on from the ring and ringside area. Another Stone to Come segment. John Cena's here with no road to WrestleMania 34, and he's devastated. We've got a commercial. Back for the break, Coleslaw talks about how Titus O'Neil's recent promotional tour of South Africa. We go to the ring, and out comes John Cena as fans sing their own version of his theme song. Cena says we're 4 weeks away from WrestleMania 34. He's finally found his path. He goes on and says he's failed on both brands. He has no one to blame but himself. Cena says it's the dream of every superstar to make it to WrestleMania, and he's here tonight too. Fans interrupt with fans for The Undertaker. Cena says that's very nice to hear, but he hopes they're listening. Cena says he's here tonight to announce that he will not contribute to WrestleMania this year. This gets a mixed reaction from the crowd. Cena says this does not mean he's quitting or walking away, or that he will miss the show. It means that Cena's road to WrestleMania is now the same as ours. Buy a ticket. Cena says this year he gets to be the energy at WrestleMania because he's going as a fan. Cena goes on and says he's not going to WrestleMania with a sad face or complaining. He's going to have a blast, fired up, just like the fans. Cena says he might be sitting next to this fan or that fan in the crowd during WrestleMania. He leaves the ring and joins the fans over the bar, taking a sip of beer from one fan. Cena leads to "This is awesome" chant with the fans. He tries to lead a "Let's go Roman" chant, but gets mostly boos in return. Cena returns to the ring and says we have to address one thing, because there's a chant we won't be able to say this year. Let's go Cena. And of course, this gets the dueling chants for Cena. Let's go Cena, Cena sucks. Cena then says the chant feels as good as a sip of beer he just had. Cena thanks the fans again. Cena stops and wonders what is the worst that can happen if he does the one thing that he wasn't supposed to do right now. Will it change his road to WrestleMania? Cena says screw it. He challenges The Undertaker to a match in New Orleans. Fans go wild. Cena was told that the match was impossible, and he just accepted it, but the fan in him wants to see it. Cena wonders why it's impossible. The WWE executives? No. They would just cut his mic and suspend him like they did Reigns. Cena tries again and says it 3 more times. He challenges The Undertaker to a match at WrestleMania 34. Fans pop some more. Cena says it's not WWE or any of the fans that are keeping the match from happening. Cena says there's one person keeping the match from happening, and that's The Undertaker. Cena addresses Taker and tells him to get over his own ego. Cena says that the difference between them is that Cena gets up and goes back to work, kick butt the next day after failing. Taker hides his head in the sand when he fails because he's too worried about what people will think. Cena calls Taker fragile and tells them to get over his ego. Cena says Taker is not washed up and he's not broken down because if he was, he wouldn't be posting workout videos on his wife's Instagram. Cena goes on and calls Taker a self-centered egomaniac and another name or two. Cena tries again and asks the fans if they want to see the match at WrestleMania, and they do. Cena says the fans want to see it, and so does he. Cena says he's going to WrestleMania as a fan or as Taker's opponent, which will be historic. Cena then says it's time to see if the dead man is still alive as the ball is in his court. Cena says he knows what he would want if he were in Taker's position. He would want one more match. Cena drops the mic, leaves as his music hits. Another still to come segment. Asuka and a closer look at the big mixed tag match at WrestleMania 34. Also, a special look at the Symphony of Destruction. Back to commercial. Back for the break, and the Bar is backstage with Kurt Angle. They say what happened tonight was completely uncalled for. Angle said that they've been asking for competition on social media and got it. Sheamus says they wanted a match, not to be attacked. They go on and mention Raw management not taking care of them. They have heard rumors of a superstar shakeup happening after WrestleMania. They want to be traded right now. They discuss several SmackDown tag teams and possibly going to the Blue brand to face them. Wish they might get that. Angle says there's no way he's trading them, but he will find out their WrestleMania opponents tonight with a tag team battle royal. Bar walks off. Coleslaw leads us to a video package of last week's Symphony of Destruction match, which saw Braun Strowman defeat Elias. We go to the ring, and Elias is waiting with his guitar. He's wearing a neck brace and isn't happy as usual. Elias plays a few notes and says this is all the fans' fault. Elias leaves the ring and looks to be hurting from last week's beatdown. Camera cuts backstage with Braun Strowman, who is bragging on using the piano on Elias last week. Braun asks how it is that he doesn't have a match at WrestleMania. He's not going to sit around and wait for someone to show him his path. He's going to go out and carve his own path. Braun then guarantees that someone will get these hands. In New Orleans, still to come segment, Balor versus Rollins, back to commercial. And that match is up next, Rollins versus Balor. Back to the break, out comes Seth, and Balor was out next. The bell rings and they size each other up before locking up. They go at it and trade holds as we see the Miz watching backstage. Balor drops Rollins with a big right hand. They run the ropes. Rollins drops Balor. Rollins looks to take control of Balor, but sends him to the floor to the barrier. Balor with a big kick to the shoulder from the apron. Rollins is down on the floor with Balor standing tall in the ring as we go to commercial. Back for the break, Rollins has Balor grounded after turning it around during the break. Balor tries to fight up and out, but Rollins tightens the hold and keeps him grounded. Rollins beats Balor while he's face down on the apron. Rollins then nails a running knee to the face and a 2 count. We see Miz backstage watching the match again. Rollins keeps Balor grounded. Balor fights up, but Rollins sends him back down. Balor fights up and out finally, showing an aggressive side, but Rollins counters and sends Balor face first into turnbuckles. Rollins comes off the top, but is forced to roll through. Rollins runs into a kick into the corner. Balor finally gets up, gets some offense now as the fans cheer him on. More back and forth. In the corner, Rollins goes to the top, but Balor jumps up with an enziguri. Balor keeps control and plants Rollins for a 2 count. They run the ropes and Rollins counters a sling blade. Rollins blocks the 1916 with a knee. They trade shots in the middle of the ring now. Balor with an overhead kick. Rollins comes back with an overhead kick of his own. They both go down as the fans cheer them on. Balor avoids a blackout curb stomp, and Rollins rolls him up for a 2 count. More back and forth action. Balor nails a sling blade. Balor then runs into a big kick from Rollins for a 2 count. Rollins stuns Balor and keeps control. Rollins misses a shot in the corner. Balor catches him with a shot to the face. Balor goes to the top for a coup de grace. But Rollins crotches him. More back and forth. Rollins goes back up to Balor on the top and hits the superplex. Rollins rolls through the superplex for a Falcon Arrow, but Balor counters and turns that into a roll-up for the win. Winner of the match, Finn Balor. After the match, Rollins can't believe what just happened. As Balor's music hits, we go to replays. Rollins heads to the back as Balor recovers in the ring. Coleslaw leads us to a video package on WWE Hall of Famer Fabulous Moolah. First ever Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal will take place at WrestleMania 34. And female superstars from all brands will be able to participate. Back from the break, Coleslaw leads us to a video package of Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H at WrestleMania. We see Asuka backstage walking, back to commercial. Back from the break, out comes Asuka to the ring. Charlie Caruso awaits in the ring and shows us stills from last night's fastlane pay-per-view where Asuka challenged SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair for WrestleMania 34. Caruso says everyone wants to know why But before she can speak, the music interrupts and out comes Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss with Mickie James. Bliss mocks Asuka and says last night was so exciting. Just look at the priceless look on Flair's face. Bliss tells Caruso that Asuka's English isn't so great and interviews aren't her thing. Bliss is going to explain what happened. Bliss says Asuka is a fierce competitor, and even though she doesn't speak the language well, she's very smart. Mickie and Bliss talk about Asuka keeping her streak alive and say she wouldn't dare to jeopardize it by getting in the ring with Bliss at WrestleMania. They both mock Asuka. Bliss brags on retaining her title in the first ever women's Elimination Chamber match and says Asuka knows she wouldn't be able to beat her at WrestleMania, so why even try? Bliss takes another jab at Asuka and says she will be rooting for Asuka to knock Flair off her throne at WrestleMania. Bliss applauds Asuka for choosing the champion of the B show. Asuka says that she chose Charlotte because to be the woman, you have to beat the woman. Asuka says she wants to face the best champion of WWE. Bliss says this must be a language barrier because Asuka is yelling in her face. Bliss says Asuka really means she wanted to beat the easiest champion. Asuka says she beat Bliss before and can do it again. How about right now? Bliss tells her to dream on and says she had the chance. Bliss says Asuka gets to go against someone who has unfinished business with her tonight. Asuka gets this woman. No one appears. Bliss tries again, but no one is coming out. Bliss and Mickie talk off mic. Bliss shoves Asuka, and Mickie drops her with a cheap shot. Mickie taunts Asuka as Bliss looks on. Mickie didn't says let's fight. We go to commercial. So we got Asuka versus Mickie James. Any federation, that would be a dream match. Back from the break, the match is already underway. Bliss looks on. Asuka ends up dropping Mickie on the floor with a big kick. Asuka takes her time and follows, but sends Mickie into the apron. Asuka goes for a kick, but Mickie moves and Asuka collides with a ring post. Asuka clutches her leg while down on the floor. Mickie returns to the ring as the referee counts. Asuka rolls around in pain on the floor. Asuka makes it back in before the 10 count, but Mickie goes right to work on the leg. Mickie slams Asuka's leg around the ring post as the referee warns her. Mickie returns to the ring and goes right back to work on the leg. Mickie with more offense and gets a 2 count. Asuka comes right back and drops Mickie with a kick to the head. Asuka is hurting and is slow to get to Mickie for the pin attempt. She can't get the pinfall. Mickie gets up and goes back to work in the middle of the ring. Back and forth action. Asuka misses the kick, and Mickie pushes her leg out. Mickie plants Asuka and kicks up. Mickie plays to the crowd and goes to the top. Asuka runs up and cuts her off. Asuka goes for a superplex, but Mickie fights her off. Mickie counters from the top and hits a sunset flip powerbomb for a close 2 count. Mickie comes right back with another close pin attempt. Asuka avoids the big kick and gets Asuka like applied in the middle ring. Mickie reaches for Bliss, but has to tap out. After the match, Bliss storms off to the back as Asuka's music hits. Asuka sells the leg injury, but stands tall and raises her arm. Mickie tries to recover on the mat. The announcers discuss the Great War and the Ultimate Deletion. Graves says this can only happen at the Hardy compound. Still to come tonight, a special preview of the Ultimate Deletion match. Also still to come, Tag Team Battle Royal with a WrestleMania 34 title shot on the line. Alexa Bliss walks up on Nia Jax backstage and asks where she was at. Nia tells her to take it easy because Kurt Angle told her to stay in the back to prepare for a match. Asuka had it planned for them to triple team Asuka. Bliss wanted to give Jax a chance to redeem herself after last week's bad performance. Bliss throws some more subtle shots at Jax, but says she loves her. Jax says she loves Bliss too, but there's some tension there. Bliss says it's time for some tough love. She needs to know that Jax will be there to support her in next Monday's match with Asuka. Bliss tells Jax to go out there tonight and prove that she's the best. And we get a Women's History Month video on Indira Gandhi. And we go back to commercial. Nia Jax versus Joan King. The big match that they were talking about. Back from the break, now comes Nia. Enhancement talent, Joan King awaits in the ring. Jax destroys King and gets an easy squash match win for the Samoan drop. After the match, Jax stands tall. The cameras cut backstage and Bliss and Mickie talking, who apparently don't know the cameras are on them. Jax watches from the ring as Bliss and Mickey talk trash about her, including comments on her size and other issues. Bliss says Jax is happy carrying her bags and can't handle the truth, which is that Bliss uses her. Bliss is confident that Jax will be right where they need her next week. Bliss says she has Jax in the palm of her hand. Bliss says that Jax is just as dumb as she is big. Jax is watching from the ring and getting upset as the trash talking continues. Bliss and Mickey go on and about how they will use Jax next week and beat her down if she gets in the way. Bliss and Mickey are tired of waiting on Charlie Caruso to come interview them. She finally comes in and reveals that the mic and cameras have been on and that everyone heard that they were what they were saying. Bliss and Mickey are worried now. Jax leaves the ring and is crying. She stops on the ramp, gets angry, and runs to the back as fans cheer. And we cut back to Bliss and Mickey. They gather their things and rush off, packing up as they apparently are leaving the arena. Charlie talks about Bliss versus Asuka for next week and how the interview is off. Jax comes into the women's locker room and she is furious, tossing furniture around. Charlie says Bliss and Mickey has just left. Jax screams some more and tosses stuff around. We go to commercial. Back from the break, the announcers lead us to a video preview of the Ultimate Deletion and with Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. We also get a backstage rant from Wyatt, who says Matt has a beautiful home and a beautiful family, and it would be a shame for something to happen to them. We cut backstage to Kurt Angle in his office. He calls in referee Sean Bennett and orders him to be the official for next week's big match, which has already been taped, by the way. Angle doesn't know what will happen in the match, but it will be chaos. Angle wants Bennett to go down there and make sure Wyatt and Hardy make it back to Raw. Still to come, our Battle Royal main event. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we'll see what happened with Roman Reigns and Vince McMahon earlier. Announcers plug next week's Raw, Bliss versus Asuka, Ultimate Deletion, and Brock Lesnar. Tag Team Battle Royal to crown the number one contenders. Titus Worldwide versus The Club versus The Revival versus Heath Slater Rhino versus Mr. Raj. We go to the ring and the tag teams and wait for the Battle Royal to begin, but the music interrupts and out comes Braun Strowman. Braun stares them all down. Ripper rings the bell and Braun sends Apollo to the floor. Others go at it while Braun chases Heath Slater around the ring, sending him into the barrier. They come back and Braun eliminates Slater. Braun turns around as the other participants stop and stare him again. They still don't know that he's in the match. Everyone attacks Braun at once. They try to dump Braun over the top, but he hangs on. Revival eliminates Rhino. Titus O'Neil drops Scott Dawson. Dash Wilder comes over. Braun fights off Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Several superstars end up going under the rope to the floor to recover. Titus face off with Braun in the middle of the ring, and the others watch from the floor. Titus changes his mind and joins the others on the floor. Braun stands tall as we go to commercial. Back for the break, everyone attacks Braun, but he fights them off. Anderson, Titus, and Gallows gang up on Braun and knock him through the middle rope, but he's still in the match. The Revival, Ramble still steps into Braun on the floor. Bo Dallas and Kurt Axel also use the steps on Braun, but he's still standing on his feet. Braun takes another steel step shot and gets sent over the timekeeper's area. Titus unloads on several opponents in the ring. Raw Tag Team Champion, The Bar, are on commentary now. Titus keeps control in the ring, hits the Clash of Titus on Dawson. Mr. Rogers double teams Titus now. Dallas eliminates Dawson. Dash tries to eliminate Dallas, but Axel stops him. Axel eliminates Dash, and the Revival are both officially gone. Titus unloads on Gallows and Anderson. Braun comes back in and eliminates Titus. Gallows super kicks Braun twice. Braun ends up eliminating Gallows. Dallas and Axel team up on Braun. Strowman eliminates Axel and then Bo. Do you know Bo? Bo just got eliminated. Anderson takes Braun down to one knee. Anderson with more offense. But Braun catches the kick and turns it around. Braun yells about going to WrestleMania and then tosses Anderson onto the other superstars on the floor. Braun wins. Winner and new number one contender by himself to go against the Bar at WrestleMania. Braun Strowman. After the match, Braun stands tall as Bar looks on confused. Graves wonders if the match result will stand if it's even legal We go to replays. Braun looks up at the WrestleMania 34 sign and then back at Cesaro and Sheamus. Taunting them, Braun hits the corner and poses as Raw goes off the air. There was no dark match main event after Raw in Detroit went off the air. Correspondent Ed Haynes said word that the fans were upset because there was no 8-man dark main event as advertised, and no appearance by Ronda Rousey by the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar either, who were also advertised. The 8-man match was scheduled. Had Raw Tag Team Champions The Bar, Kane, and Intercontinental Champion The Miz taking on Braun Strowman, John Cena, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. But due to the match change, because Roman was suspended indefinitely. And that concludes my Raw video for this week. Thanks again. Peace out. See you on If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.